Hey folks, ET here coming at you with a week ahead. To this weekend, we are looking at AMD, BA, and BABA going into the next week. A couple of them both ways, so we can just check some levels and see where we're at. I've already got the levels drawn out. Obviously, you know what I like to do. I like to hit support resistance, and then I like to hit GEX levels, and I like to see what it looks like, what we have that are near each other. What I'm looking for is gamma that is near an SR level to give some more confluence on the trade to see what it all looks like there. So first up is AMD. Interesting look here. Biggest pull is 195 right now. There is some overhead gamma because it's so extended here, it doesn't show up on this chart. But if you go to its options page, you can actually see its overhead gamma up a little bit, which there is some. What I'm looking for here is we've got a little bit of a pull to 195. We've got a support and gamma right here around 190. So this is what I'm looking for right here. What I'm looking for is a bit of a dip, not saying the market crashes, a bit of a dip down to 195. 190 would be a fantastic spot, all right, for me to go long again if the market is participating. So just the easiest look possible. Customer sentiment is obviously through the roof right now. Remember, our new customer sentiment tab when it comes down to indicators is just inverse of dealer delta. When we see big green bars, that means bullish. Less confusing for you all, very easy to understand as we go along there. So what I would like here is truly some pulls down to this 200, 195, and maybe a bounce around 190. There is a small if you go to its options page, there's a small gamma around 192.5 as well. So right around that area. And if you just look left, and draw some levels with your eyes, you can create your own support resistances to see where things work out as well, just to go there. So very simple. I would like to just take it down. Like I said, not calling for a crash, right? Just looking for a pullback to long again if the market is still participating and we're still seeing data that shows that it's low. Now, obviously, if we start to get this customer sentiment shrinking downwards, all right, and going into the red, then my long thesis, I put an X on it, right? But right now, I would just like a retrace down to at least 195 to take a look at longs again there. So very simple look, very, very simple look. All right, BA, let's go ahead and take a look. All right, I know, everybody, this has been just an absolute abysmal mess lately. Bad news after bad news. Planes not working as well as they should, and that is obviously fair that our price has gone down. We are in a long period of consolidation right here, and this is when I start to look at BA. Once we get to this spot where we've been trading within a very tight range, I start to look. Now, what I would like to see is, you see, last time we consolidated for a long time, we ripped upwards, okay, which is what I would like to see at BA. I'd very much like a tap down here at this 188 first. I know it's a little further down than where we are right now. BA price is around 200, but if I could get a tap down to that 188, maybe even 195, right around there, I would think about going long, because it does have some upper pulls that line up with some support levels as well. So a very simple look right now, its customer sentiment is no good, so they are saying, hey, we are still short. So that could bring it down to this 188.25. That would be and some consolidation there would be okay with me as well. Sometimes we get these just really big dips before we rip, obviously, so that's what I'm kind of looking for. It's just a little bit more down before I take it long again. There's always some news that piles in and makes things worse and worse and worse and worse, and that just kind of pins price around where it is for a bit. And then all of a sudden, we see the contra move, and it just goes contrary to what it's been doing, and it looks great. So not yet, but this is just one that is on my radar this week, maybe the following week as well, to take it back up to about 210 would be where I would like to see. So that is BA for us. All right, BABA, everybody's favorite thing, right? China has been a little difficult this year. We've had some good runs and some good pullbacks, but what I am eyeing here is pretty simple. We've got 73.14 as a support level, a gamma right around there. So what I'd really like to see is, if it's possible, for it to hold that level and take it back up to about 78, right? Just take it up, take it down, take it up. It's got a decent pull there at 80 right? So and if we look at that 80, if we just draw our line over it, we can see there's been lots of price contention around that 80 as well. So that would be considered a support resistance. So a resistance since it's above. Customer sentiment is starting to flail a little bit. So if it loses, all right, if it loses this 73.14, then I am going to wait and see how far it comes down. It's pretty simple. Another thing you can do, and I'll point this out, you can go to your time frames and you can change your time frame, and you can kind of take a look at what exactly, if there are some other levels out there that maybe the AI didn't draw because you're on a higher time frame. You can go lower, or you can even go higher to see if there's some other ones that you can redraw on your charts. And I simply just set alerts. So I'm just going to keep an alert and see for a, let's say 73, see if we break it, so I know to maybe put an X on it, maybe even short it down a little bit, right? Both ways, so we don't have to have a bias. We're just playing the levels and the data that we see pumping through the platform for the day. Try not to ever have a bias. The platform gives us our bias by giving us the information and the data that we need to trade the specific tickers we're looking at. So we just kind of let that do the lifting for us, do the heavy lifting, and from there we just have to execute on our plays. Last week we did pretty good. CCJ bounced every time off 40. We got nice rips upwards. Amazon was a good short under 175 multiple times, and JPM was a good short under 185 multiple times before ultimately all of those things ripped upwards again. Especially CCJ, it gained about $3 in a day multiple times, I think. So that was probably the highlight of them if you took it. All right, so there is BABA for us. Just keeping an eye. And like I said, what I really, really, really want is to wait for these levels to play out, okay? And you don't have to have that bias. Like I said, if we start to lose this 200 with force, then we know that we have a little bit of a short down to 188.25. Not a very big short by any means, maybe not even worth it, but a couple dollar drop would be it. But we continue to hold this. This is a good spot to start thinking about some leaps for me on BA. And AMD the same, right? If the data comes through on Monday and says we're just going to continue being long, if we just start to get sweep after sweep after sweep after sweep towards the long side from live flow, then I'm gonna scratch my retrace thesis for a day and just take it where it goes. So just because I want it to pull back doesn't mean I get it, and I might just have to be patient and wait for data to roll through to see if my mind needs to be changed. Keeping it simple. All right, everybody, that is the week ahead look. Everybody have a good day. Stay safe out there and go get that Oprah money.